Comic-style animations are easily one of the most eye-catching and attention-grabbing editing styles you'll ever come across. But of course, creating these kinds of animations and transitions might seem impossible without advanced software and years of experience. So, I decided to use everything I know about editing to recreate this in a much simpler way. From generating AI prompts and creating images, to animating everything step by step. Now, let's create our own comic book style animation in CapCut. But first, let's take a look at why this style is actually so unique. During World War II and the years that followed, comic books entered what many consider the golden age of comics. They became extremely popular because they lowered the barrier of storytelling. Instead of reading long pages of text, people could follow a story through images, expressions, and scenes. Even today, comic books remain popular because of their simplicity. While modern content has become more realistic and visually detailed, comics can tell an entire story with just a few drawings and scenes. They can create a sense of nostalgia, give the mind a break from realism, and help visual learners understand information more easily. And that's one of the reasons this style still works so well today. Now, if we simply add motion to those static scenes we see in comic books, we create comic-style animation. And for those who want to build a story-based niche on YouTube, this style is affordable, fast to produce, and incredibly eye-catching. Now, the first thing we need to do is generate a series of images because later we're going to animate them. This part of the workflow is much faster and easier to produce. Instead of using several AI tools for writing prompts, generating images, and organizing everything manually, I'm using Topview Canvas to do everything in one place. Topview uses different AI models like Gemini, DeepSeek, Claude Opus, and other AI agents. All you have to do is explain your idea. The agent can turn that idea into prompts, images, and an organized workflow. You can edit, merge, or expand your ideas, generate multiple variations in batches, and even save the entire workflow to reuse in future projects with very little manual work. All you have to do is open Canvas and create a new project. For example, if you upload a reference image and ask it to generate multiple collage-style versions, the agent will create several variations for you. You can then use any of those images as a reference and ask the AI to generate more images in the same style. You can also click on any image to re-edit it, erase objects, replace elements, or make other changes without starting over. Also, whatever image you choose, simply click Create Video. You can use an image as the start or end frame, add sound, choose the duration, and select a video model like the new Dance 2 Mini. Then just write a simple prompt and let the AI do the work. These videos are highly accurate, look very professional, and generate much faster than most AI video tools. If you create content regularly, Topview offers a couple of pricing options. The Ultra Annual plan includes 365 days of unlimited Dance 2 Mini and 30 days of unlimited Dance 2.0. Or, if you prefer to pay as you go, you can use credit mode, starting at just 5 cents per second. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to try Topview yourself and keep your entire workflow in one place instead of jumping between different tools. Now, for our video, I'm going to generate 4 images to build the storyboard. Then, inside Canvas, I'll ask the AI to remove the background from the character and generate another version without the character to create a clean background. Once all 4 images are ready, I'll download them. Don't worry, I'll put all the assets and prompts in the description below, so you can generate everything yourself. First, create a 4K project with a resolution of 3840 by 2160 at 24 frames per second. Then, simply add your first background image and character to the timeline. We're going to create a composition for each scene. Now, all you have to do is add a position keyframe at the beginning of the clip, move the character off screen, and around the 2-second mark, place it in the middle of the screen. Open Keyframe Animation, select the Y-axis keyframes, and choose either quad ease or cubic ease. This gives the character a smooth entrance into the scene. Now close the keyframe animation, select both layers, and create a compound clip. Your compound clips are saved in the subproject panel, as you can see. You can rename them like I do, and even if you delete them from the timeline, you can always drag them back whenever you need them. Now let's delete it for now and bring our next scene assets into the timeline. This time, I want to move the poster as if the wind is blowing it on the lamppost. But the problem is, CapCut doesn't let you change the anchor point. By default, the anchor point is always in the center. In other editing software like Premiere Pro or After Effects, we can change the anchor point. It's a very important feature because it lets an object move or rotate from any point you choose. So, if I want the poster to swing naturally, I have to use a little trick. So I simply move the poster down until the anchor point is at the top of the poster. Now, all I have to do is create a compound clip just for the poster. As you can see, if I rotate it now, it swings from the top of the poster. I'm going to move the poster up a little like this, then create rotation keyframes every 2 to 3 seconds. Give each keyframe enough rotation so it looks like the wind is naturally swinging the poster. Now, let's create a compound clip for this as well. Rename it to Scene 2, and move on to the next scene. Let's add the third scene to the timeline. When I removed the background from my character, it didn't remove everything perfectly, so I'll simply use the mask option to hide the remaining background around the hand and suitcase. For this scene as well, I'm going to move the character off the right side of the screen, create position keyframes, and apply the same curve we used in the first scene. For the fourth and final scene, I'm going to do exactly the same thing. You can move your objects however you like. You can create rotation, scale, or opacity keyframes, whatever you think looks more fun. Just adding a few keyframes here and there can make your scenes feel much more dynamic. Okay, the fourth scene is also ready. Now it's time to create the comic style layout. First, I'm going to add the paper background I have and scale it up so it fills the entire screen. Then I'll add these comic frames, duplicate them until I have 4, and arrange them on the screen like this. Now I'll go to subprojects and place each scene, one by one, into those frames. Simply scale them down to fit. You can also change their blend mode to multiply so they blend better with the paper background. Now let's do the same for all 4 scenes. Okay, everything looks perfect. We just need to add this dotted texture above all the layers and change its blend mode. I'm going to lower the opacity a little so it feels more like a comic book. Now, let's select all the layers and create a compound clip for the movement. This part might be a little confusing, but we need to go back and forth a bit to make sure each animation appears at the right time. Create a transform keyframe at the beginning of the clip. Move to around the 2-second mark, then zoom into the first scene, placing it in the middle of the screen with a slight rotation. Now copy the second keyframe and paste it around the 4-second mark so the scene stays in the center for about 1 second. Then, 1 second later, move the screen to the second scene and adjust the rotation a little. Again, copy the last keyframe, paste it about 20 frames later, then move forward and create the next keyframe for the third scene. Here's where I said we need to go back and forth. I want each scene's animation to start exactly when the camera zooms into it in the main composition. So I simply open the third scene composition, move its keyframe slightly forward, then go back to the main composition to check if the timing matches. Then I continue adding the remaining keyframes in the main composition, zoom into the fourth scene, and place it in the middle of the screen. Finally, just go through everything once and make sure all the animations happen at the right time. Now simply open Keyframe Animation, select all the scale keyframes, and choose Cubic Ease from the Curves menu. I'm going to use the same curve for the X-axis and Y-axis of the position keyframes, as well as the rotation keyframes. It's very important to use the same curve for all these properties. Let's add an adjustment layer above the composition. I'm going to add a little vignette, some fade, and maybe make the temperature slightly warmer, so it looks a bit more vintage. Once you're done, go to the Effects section and drag the blur effect onto the timeline. Set the blur amount to 33, then open the mask settings and choose Circle. Increase the size of the circle until it covers the entire screen without showing the edges, then invert the mask. Add a little feather, and we're done. If you export it in full HD, you'll get a clean, professional-looking comic-style animation without losing quality. Also, the timing between the movement keyframes and the scene animations is completely up to you. You can adjust it however you like. With just these simple tricks and the movement we created, I made many animations like the magician story and the mouse and cat story, which you can find on my previous videos. Even though I used After Effects for more advanced movement, the basic idea is easy to recreate in almost any editing software. All you need is a consistent style, a couple of prompts, and an image generator, and you can create all kinds of animation styles you like.